Hey everyone, and welcome to Isms by Josie. Today we're going to be doing a kit from Five Below. For my returning subscribers, thank you so much for tuning in. And for my new viewers, please consider subscribing, share, hit that like button, leave a comment below, and click on that notification bell for future videos. So today, you guys, I am starting my Halloween kits. I mean, I kind of did with the Stitch last video, but you know, Stitch is so cute, so I don't even consider that as a Halloween thing. Who makes this? Innovative Designs. Yeah, I'm not used to this company. Anyway, it's a crochet kit, and we're doing Michael Myers, and it's gonna be kind of cool. I mean, he's not one of my favorites because him and Jason actually scare me, so I mean, not crazily like, because I love horror movies, but yeah, those movies give me, like, make me act funny when I'm outside for a few days after watching it. This is for 17-year-olds and up, and I'm pretty sure it's just because of the content. Alright, so in this kit, it includes 7 colors of yarn. We have 2 felt stickers, a crochet hook, plastic needle, stuffing, and instructions. Alright, let's open this box. Ooh, and they tape it up. All these kits they tape up, I guess, to make sure that you don't, you know, no one thefts the materials inside. So when I find a box, like I think the last box was not, like it looked like somebody cut it. Anyway, pouch, stuffing, spools of yarn. Ooh, it's all compact. Ooh, there's a lot of them. Hopefully we have enough for the project, and then we have our instructional booklets, one with abbreviations and explanations on how to make everything or do every stitch, and then the other with the actual instructions. In this pouch, it looks like we have our smaller wads of yarn. We have the plastic needle and the crochet hook. If this is like the Stitch one, it should be about a 3.5 millimeter. Alright, so you guys, this video is only a supplement to the kit. If you want to make this kit, I highly recommend that you go to Five Below or go on their website if it's still there, and get yourself this kit. I cannot show any instructions or anything like that due to copyright. So I will be going over how to do the stitches. For every new stitch that pops up, I'm going to be going over 3 times step by step. If there's something in there that looks a little confusing, I'll go over that as well. If you need to speed up or slow down the video, go ahead and click on the gear button in the corner. There's playback options to go fast or slow. And then if you don't need to hear me speak, you could always lower the volume on your device and click on the CC closed caption button. Okay, so let's get straight into this. So for the instructions, we are going to start off with the head. So let me just open these instructions here. And we're going to be using the white. So this stuff I can set aside for now. I like to keep things together and out of the way. Just so one, it's out of the way, two, so that it doesn't get dirty. Alright. And then I gotta find the other side of this. I'm never good at this. Is this it? Okay, this is to the outside that we just unraveled. I'm gonna grab the one on the inside because that seems to grab nicer without tripping you up and spinning all over the place. But yeah, I'm gonna try putting this around something here. So we can just grab. All right. So we're going to start with, ooh, and these instructions are slightly different with what they call things here. So this is an MC, which is crazy because MC is not in their abbreviations. Well, this is starting out great. Yeah, so they have MC. That might be a typo because there's no MC in their instruction. So we're just going to call it an MR. Oh, well, annoying. Okay, let's do the magic ring. MC. Alright, so we are going to wrap this 3 times around our finger. With a little bit of overage to put our middle finger on there, and then you can straighten your strands out. We're going to take our hook and put it underneath each strand, and then I'm going to pull it back out, and I'm going to drag this strand underneath these two, and then we're going to yarn over like that. And we're going to pull this strand through the loop. Alright, so we can let go of our middle finger. We can slip this off our index. I'm going to gather up some yarn around my finger. And then we're going to go straight into round 1. So I'm going to show you how to do a single crochet stitch. So stick your hook into your magic ring. We're going to yarn over, and you're going to pull this through the magic rings. So we have 2 loops on our hook. Then we're going to yarn over again, and you're going to pull through those 2 loops. So we have our first single crochet stitch. It has a top braid here made out of 2 loops, the front loop and then the back loop. Let's do another. So stick your hook into the magic rings. We're going to yarn over. You're going to pull up a loop to have 2 loops. Then we're going to yarn over, and you're going to pull through those 2 loops. So now we have 2 single crochet stitches. So you can see the top looks like a braid. We have a front loop, and then we have a back loop. Let's do this one more time with you guys. So stick your hook into the magic rings. We're going to yarn over. You're going to pull up a loop. So you have 2 loops on your hook. Then we're going to yarn over again, and you're going to pull through those 2 loops. So now you have 3 single crochet stitches. We have a front loop and a back loop. Alright, from here I'm going to just continue the rest of the single crochet stitches, and then we'll move on to the next steps. Alright, so from here in the magic ring, I'm going to overhand my hook. So this is underhand, this is overhand. I'm going to hold with my thumb and index the stitches down here, away from the hook. I'm going to let go of my feeder yarn, put it out of the way. What we want to do now is just grab this excess piece. We want to see which one of these 2 loops are going to go in first. So pull this, and then once you see a loop go in, stop pulling. Alright, so we've identified at this loop going in first, so I'm going to pull the bottom part out of the magic ring. Don't pull from here. So let's go down here and pull out that bottom end, and keep pulling until the other loop disappears into the magic ring. Okay? Then once you do that, you'll still have a hole, and you'll have this huge loop. You want to now grab the excess piece again and pull that until the other loop is gone as well. Alright, you might still have the tiniest hole in here. What I'm going to do is pull on the opposite direction and up, maybe 45 degree on a 45-degree angle, and then pull it just slightly. You're going to feel a little give. You don't have to pull it too hard, but When you take a look back, that hole is now gone. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is place a marker. Now, this doesn't come with markers. I highly recommend that you get yourself some of these markers. These ones I've collected over time from kits that had markers. These are going to help you keep track of all your stitches and all your rounds. And what you want to do, if you don't have these, just cut a different color yarn and you're going to have to slip it underneath the stitch. So I'm going to take the marker and slip it under the last stitch I made. Okay, be sure not to pierce your yarn. We're going to close this up. And we're just going to know when we're going to end for round 2. So first you have to count the first round is going to be kind of hard to see in my opinion. So what you need to do is count your stitches from your hook. In round 1, it tells you how many stitches you should have at the end of the round. I'm just going to count that number back. And then I'm going to stick my hook in that stitch. And I always find it difficult to put your crochet hook in that last stitch when it's the first round. Okay. So from here, we're going to be doing an increasing stitch. So an increasing stitch, all it is doing 2 single crochet stitches in this one stitch here. So yarn over, pull through the loop. Okay. And you have 2 loops on your hook. We're going to yarn over and you're going to pull through those 2 loops. Then you're going to stick your hook back into that same stitch we just used. You're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So out of that one stitch, we made 2 single crochet stitches. So let me show you that again. Into the next stitch, put in your hook. We're going to do 2 single crochet stitches in the stitch. So yarn over, pull up a loop, so you have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over again, pull through those 2 loops, then stick your hook back into that same stitch. We're going to yarn over and pull up a loop, so you have 2 loops, we're going to yarn over and pull through those 2 loops. Alright, so one more time with you guys. Into the next stitch, put in your hook. We're going to do 2 single crochet stitches in this stitch. So yarn over, pull up a loop, so you have 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Then use that same stitch we just used to put in your hook. Yarn over, pull up a loop, so we have 2 loops. Yarn over, pull through those 2 loops. So right now, we did this 3 times. You should have doubled the amount of stitches. Alright, from here I'm just going to continue on my own speed and then we'll come back in for round 3. Alright. So once we've completed all of our stitches for round 2, I'm just going to remove this marker and put it under the last stitch that we made, and then we're going to do round 3. Alright, so now we have something a little more complicated looking. We have in parentheses one single crochet stitch, and then we have increasing stitches. So what we need to do is that same instruction in the parenthesis, we have to repeat it the number of times they tell us to. So I will do the first one with you guys, and then I'm gonna complete rounds 4 through 8 on my own in silence, because it's pretty much the same thing, just different counts. Alright, so this is how you would do round 3. So you're gonna go into the next stitch and we're gonna do a single crochet stitch. Okay, then we're gonna go into the next stitch and do an increasing stitch. All right, so we just completed one parenthesis. We just have to repeat it, and I'm going to show you how to do it again. Into the next stitch, do a single crochet stitch. Into the next stitch, we're going to do an increasing stitch. So now we've done this 2 times. All right, one more time with you guys. Into the next stitch, put a single crochet stitch, and into the next stitch, do an increasing stitch. So that's basically it. When you see a parenthesis like that and you see a times number, it's meaning to repeat that parenthesis however many times it's asking. So I'm just gonna continue with the rest of this round, and then I will work, like I said, rounds 4 through 8 in silence. So you don't have to do it necessarily for this. You could always remove the marker and put it into the next round, but because I know I have some stuff to do, I'm going to keep this in as my round 4 marker. So for the next rounds, so if this is 4, whoa, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I know that for these rounds, it's gonna help me keep track of where I am. So slipping this underneath the last stitch we made, and then I'm gonna complete this in silence. So I've completed up to row 8, and now we're going to get to a section where it is useful to have these markers, because for rounds 9 through 16 we're doing the same instructions over and over again. So it really helps when you have a number of these markers to keep track of which round you're on. So this one's going to be round 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, so let's just double count. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. All right, so I'm gonna complete rounds 9 through 16 and in silence, and I'm gonna pop in around 17 because we have a new stitch that I have to teach you. So I finished row 16, and this is very concerning because this is how much white I have left. And we have up to round 23 to do. What just happened? I don't crochet very loosely, but I don't crochet tightly either. So I'm trying to wonder, like, did I miss something? I'm like, is there another spool of yarn? There isn't. Luckily, you guys, because if you've seen my previous videos, I've been out of white yarn for the longest time, and some of the kits that I don't have that the viewers had sent me instructions for, I've had to like make it patchy with whatever color I have. So in one of my journeys of finding kits at the Dollar Tree, I did end up finding a spool of white yarn, and it is how many? It's 93 yards, so we're good. I'm going to use this. It's not quite exactly like, this is more pure white than this one, but it is what it is. I ran out. Comment below, let me know if you ran out. That is very disappointing because we're not even close. It's not even close. So whenever they you know, checked this kit for material count, they probably did really tight stitches, which is crazy because one, too much tension in your hands to create tight stitches. It's very painful after time. Like, I don't like doing that. And then two, to having to put your needle into that tight stitch, I have a hard enough time after I start my magic ring because the last stitch is so tight. So I'm sorry if you ran out. Had I known, you know, or maybe if you had watched this video before getting the kit, but in watching this you may run out, and I really hope that you can at least just take a break if you do, and then go and get yourself some white yarn. So I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, very disappointing. So let's continue this. I'm going to show you a new stitch. We're going to be doing the decreasing stitch now. So I've markered up, and that's going to be round 17. And first I'm going to do my single crochet stitches, and then I'll show you how to do a decreasing stitch, and it is in parentheses from round 17 through 22. I am going to go, well, it's kind of for 23, but I'm going to jump back in 23 and finish that off with you. Okay, so let's do our single crochet stitches. Oops, I did one extra. Alright, so let me show you how to do a decreasing stitch. So what a decreasing stitch is taking 2 stitches and turning it into 1. So go ahead and stick your hook into the next stitch. We're going to yarn over, and you're going to pull up a loop. Then you're going to go into the next stitch, yarn over, and pull up a loop. So now you have 3 loops on your hook. We're going to yarn over, and you're going to pull through all 3 loops. So as you see, we took 2 stitches and we made 1. Alright, let's do this again, you guys. Do your single crochet stitches. Alright, then I'm going to show you how to do a decreasing stitch. So take your hook, put it into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then you're going to put your hook into the next stitch over, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops. Again, 2 stitches into 1. Okay, one more time with you guys. Do your single crochet stitches. Then we're going to do a decreasing stitch into the next stitch, put in your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, then into the next stitch, put in your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops. Alright, so like I said, now I'm going to move on my normal speed. We're going to continue with these parenthesis sets for round 17 through 22. I'm going to come back in the last round and show you how to finish it off. so I've completed round 22. We have one more round left. I'm gonna stuff the head, and it doesn't really say in the head section to stuff, but I'm just gonna do it anyway. Okay. So we have here stuffing. I'm a little concerned. We had a lot in the last stitch, in the last kit, making stitch. But since I already ran out of white, that's when I feel like maybe there isn't going to be enough material in the other types of material. So for this, it looks like we have to stuff the head, the body, and the arms. All right, so I would say maybe 2/3 to keep for the body. Let's take this out first. Ooh, it's expanding. So 2/3 saved for the body, and then the 1/3 put into the head. So this part is going to cover the arms and the body. Okay. Let's see what this looks like, because I feel like I didn't realize how big this head is. So if his head is that big, then the body has to be, you know, proportionally big to the head. But yeah, see, so this isn't gonna fill in all the way. I guess maybe half it and then hope for the best. I do have some extra stuffing that I bought on my own for other kits, especially when I don't have the kit and a viewer sends me the instructions. But so I'm going to use that if I need it. So that's what I'd recommend. If you haven't had the chance to work on this kit and you just saw the video just now, I would recommend getting more white, because as you can see, I ran out of white very early on. Very disappointing. And then not only does it jack it up, this was a thicker yarn too, so it's really a huge difference between this section and this other section. And then I'm putting it, seemingly I'm going to put more than half of this stuffing in here, probably 3/4 of the stuffing, just to fill out this head. So I would also recommend getting some extra stuffing. Okay. Just feel like it probably needs all of it, to be honest. I like my dolls to be firm, not plushy. Especially if it's Mike Myers. He's not a softie. Since when? So I'm just gonna stuff this all. I feel there's a little bit left, but I just want to see, maybe this little bit more will make it the firmness. There's a dip here, so looks like this is all I have left, you guys. Very disappointed with this kit. Comment below, let me know if you're reaching the same issues. But I'm gonna stuff that little dip. Okay. And then I feel like it could benefit from just a little more. You want it to look like a nice shapely head for a serial killer. Alright. I just had taken off the crochet hook. It was flopping around. Alright, so now we're going to do the last round, and it's basically all the decreasing stitches. As you have already stuffed your head, the trick to doing this to prevent huge gaps is to make sure that this initial loop on your hook is as small and tight, not too tight, as possible. That way when we finish the stitch there won't be a huge stretch. So to do that, you can just maybe hold down that loop on your crochet hook and then try to flatten the next stitches you're going to be using as flat as possible. So I'm holding this down here I've flattened out my 2 stitches that I'm using, and I'm going to try to minimize the amount of movement that this loop is making, because if you give it more yarn, that's going to make the loop look, it might stretch out, and that's how you're going to get these gaps. And although they're here, you don't want to kind of continue that onto the next round if you can help it. So these are not as big as these ones. So that's good. So just keep doing that all the way around. Okay. All right, remove the marker, and we have completed the last round. It doesn't say to fasten off, but I'm going to, because if you remove your hook, you're going to start losing your stitches. So we're not sure how we're going to be sewing this together. So what I'm going to do is take the opening and wrap the yarn around the perimeter of that opening twice. This will give you a decent amount of yarn to sew it to the body if it has you doing that. The body might ask, I didn't look ahead, let's see. Yeah, it doesn't say it either, but the body doesn't say to leave a tail like this. So we're just going to do it on the head and the body anyway like this, so that we know we have enough yarn to sew things together. It's easier to sew when it's attached to the part than it is to like tie it into the body part. Alright, so to fasten off, we're just going to yarn over, and we're going to pull through the loop all the way out, and then we're going to tighten this up by pulling on this string here, the yarn here, and then that's it. You can set this aside. We're going to work on the knife. Okay, so for the knife, we're going to use the black and the silver. We have to change to the silver. We're first going to work with the black. So let's unravel this thing here. Okay. Now this is a darker color, so it's hard to see the middle, so we can split it, but I'm gonna find the inner end just because I think it'll be easier to unravel. Oops, I hit the camera, sorry. All right, so we are going to be doing a magic ring. So we're going to take this, wrap around your finger 3 times with a little bit of overage to put your middle finger right there. We're going to straighten these strands out, tighten them up a little bit, take your crochet hook, slip it underneath the 3 strands, We're going to pull it back out and grab this strand and drag it under these two. All right, then we're going to yarn over again, and we're going to pull the strand through this loop. And from here we can let go of our middle finger. We can slip off the magic rings off of our index finger, and then we're going to do our single crochet stitches. So let's do that now. Okay, so from here, I'm going to overhand my hook. I'm going to hold the stitches at the bottom here. We're going to pull this excess piece and then see which one of these two loops goes in first. Once we've identified it, we're going to pull that loop from the bottom end out, not from the top here. But as we're doing that, you're going to see that the other loop is going to disappear into that magic ring. And once it's completely gone, we're going to take this excess piece and pull it to make this loop disappear. And then to close up this hole completely, we're going to pull in the opposite direction, up a little bit like a 45-degree angle, and then pull. You're going to feel a little give. You don't have to pull it too tightly, but now your hole is completely gone. So take a marker and mark the last stitch that we made. And then from the hook, we're going to count back the number of stitches for this first round. Stick your hook into that stitch. And I always, like I said, I always have a problem with this one. Probably because it's turned in a little bit. But stick your hook into that stitch. And then for rounds 2, 3, 4, we're going to do the same stitches for these rounds. So 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now for the 4th round, I'm not going to do the last single crochet stitch because I have to show you how to change to silver. So from rounds 2 through 4, do all those stitches except for the last one. And I'm not a fan of working with these tiny stitches because it's so hard to manipulate. You know, I have small hands, but man, you need like really tiny hands to be comfortable doing these. All right, so you're going to notice that your project is definitely curling in. We have one more row to do for this set here. What I'm going to do is flip this inside out because it'll be a little easier to work with once you turn your project the right way. So turn it inside out, and then the little excess piece from the magic ring, you just really try to shove down there and get it out of the way so you don't accidentally crochet into that excess piece. But I'm just going to push it down with my ring finger and then crochet around it. Again, we have one more round to go with this set of instructions. Uh-oh, and try not to pierce the yarn. If you do, just redo what you're doing there, because it'll make it look messy. All right, so finish that. Oh, I said I wasn't going to do it. Darn it. All right, so I've done rounds 2 through 4 with the exception of the last single crochet stitch. What I'm going to do is pull the loop to make it really big so that there's no way we can lose that stitch. Set aside your project for now. I'm going to pick up the silver. Okay. And then we're going to cast on with the slip knot. So what you want to do is take your ring, pinky, and thumb and hold one end. Take your index and middle and hold the other. You're going to take your crochet hook and lie it perpendicular to the yarn. We're going to go down, out, and around to make a loop around your hook. So you can slide it up and down, slide it towards your thumb. We're going to take the middle finger and just hold it where it crosses so that we can let go of our left hand. So we can then get some feeder yarn. Repinch the end here. You don't want to lose this. We're going to slide our hook back down towards our thumb, and where it crosses, just pinch the whole thing with your thumb and your middle finger so that you can no longer slide your hook up and down. We're going to yarn over, and we're going to pull this strand through this loop. Then I'm going to overhand my hook. I'm going to repinch my end. You don't want to lose that. And we're going to push this knot towards the thumb, tightening it up and making sure it's as close to the thumb as possible for the smallest amount of waste. Then we have this end piece here. Just pull it out with your thumb and your middle finger. Just a little bit. You're going to feel a little give, and then that's it. To make it nice and snug, we're going to move the knot also and then slide it up towards the hook. Give yourself some room here because we're just going to slide this off and set aside your project. Then we're going to pick back up this one, put your hook back into that huge loop, and then tighten it up with your feeder yarn. And then we're going to complete the last single crochet stitch. Stick in your hook into your stitch. We're going to yarn over and pull up a loop so that you have 2 loops, but we're not going to use the black. We're going to slip on the silver. And then we're going to pull that through both loops, and we've made our clean transition to silver. So from here, I'm just going to remove these markers. We're not going back to black. So I'm going to cut about 1 inch or so, and I'm going to tie it around my silver just to secure the stitches that we made with the black, and I'm just going to double knot it. Okay, and then you can just stick the extra into the bottom of the knife here. Okay, and then the way they worded the next instructions is kind of confusing. So let me just take a quick glance at the box. Okay, so we're gonna have to do chains, and I don't know if we've gone over this yet. So the chain is the most basic stitch in crocheting. So all you do is yarn over and pull up a loop, and that's it. You have your chain. It consists of 3 loops, one here, one on the other side. If you turn it on its back, you have the one in the back. All right, let's do this again. Yarn over and pull through the loop, So now we have 2 chains. They look like braids. Again, 3 loops, 1 here, 1 on the other side, and then if you turn it on its back, you have that little back hump. All right, one more time with you guys. Yarn over, pull up a loop. Now we have 3 chains. Loop on this side, loop on the other side, turn it on its back, there's a loop on the back. All right, so now I'm going to complete the rest of the chains here. All right, and then it says second chain from hook. So you want to count your stitches from the hook. Here's 1, here's 2. So we're going to be sticking our hook into this second stitch here, but we're not going to use the loop on this side or this side. We're going to turn it on its back, and we're going to stick the hook into this back hump. That's going to leave us a nice clean braid on the outside of this knife, so it looks nice and neat. So second chain from hook, stick your hook into the back hump here, and we're going to do a slip stitch. So a slip stitch, in which, by the way, the abbreviation for that is not the same in the key and the legend on the other sheet, so just be mindful of that. To do a slip stitch, you're going to yarn over, and you're just going to pull through all the loops off your hook, and that's a slip stitch. Next, what we have to do is a double crochet stitch. So to do that, you're going to yarn over into the next stitch. Again, we're not going to use this loop or that loop from the braid. We're going to turn it on its back, and we're going to stick it in the back hump. So stick your hook into that hump, and we're going to yarn over, and you're going to pull up a loop. So now you have 3 loops on your hook. We're going to yarn over again, and you're going to pull through those 2 loops. And then we're going to yarn over again and pull through those 2 loops. Okay? So now what we're going to do is we have to do 2 double crochet stitches in 1 stitch. To do that, we're going to yarn over into the next stitch, use the back hump here. So we have this stitch, this loop and this loop we're not going to use. Turn it on its back. We're going to stick it in the back hump. So put in your crochet hook. We're going to yarn over and pull up a loop. So we have 3 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through 2 loops, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. So from here, we're going to yarn over, and we're going to stick our hook back into that same stitch we used, because it's 2 double crochet stitches. So yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So next we have 5 double crochet stitches. So let's do that now. Yarn over, stick your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So now you've kind of seen the double crochet stitch a bunch of times now. I'm just going to complete the rest. And I just don't like how it doesn't finish it. Like, what do you do from there? As a beginner, you know, how would you know? But I don't think these are meant for beginners. You know, I feel bad because I get a lot of comments, especially when it gets frustrating. And I get it, you know, trying to learn from nothing. It's really tough when the kits are tough to begin with. And I can only do so much. I'm just teaching you how to do the stitches, really. So I just wish they did a better job. You know, even if kits are $1.25 or $4 or $5, it's still hard-earned money that everybody's spending, you know. All right, so our machete is almost done. What I'm going to do is, because they don't even tell you, this has to be on this side like this. What I'm going to do is squish the handle. So we have a little cylinder. I'm going to squish it. I'm going to stick my hook into 2 sets of stitches. We have one on this side and then one stitch on the other side because we sandwiched it together. And I'm just going to do a slip stitch. It doesn't really tell you how to close this off, but I'm going to show you a simple way maybe. So pull through the black and then pull through the gray. Just did a slip stitch. Now what we're going to do is cut about 1 inch or so. And then we're going to yarn over and we're going to pull through that loop all the way out and then tighten it up. Then what I'm going to try to do, I'm going to stick my hook into this handle for the knife, come up next to the excess piece. We're going to yarn over and kind of bring it into the knife handle and just keep doing that until the whole kit and caboodle just disappears. So this might take a moment or so. But once you get all of that excess in there, then you can kind of just push your crochet hook out through the other side. And there we have our machete. So now it's telling you to take the red out. So let's grab that now. And then I'm going to put this back into the pouch. Keep it nice and clean. And then we're going to weave this. It says to weave it at the front and back sides. So I would take a look at the box. And it looks like it has it dripping from this curved side. So what I'm going to do is stick my hook on the edge near the tip. I'm just going to yarn over with this to make like a loop. We're just going to stick this in here. And I'm just going to take this end now, yarn over, pull it through that loop and all the way out, and make my own kind of knot. All right. Tighten it up. And just to secure it a little bit more, I'm going to tie it twice around the back side here. The one they don't really have a back side, just pick a side and double knot. Okay, and then you can end up cutting this, you can weave it. Let's try weaving it. So I would stick your crochet hook, try not to pierce the yarn, just try to poke through the stitches and just weave this in and out. Maybe we can have 2 drips, but I'm doing one right now, and then we're going to do another one, and these are going to represent the blood spatter. Okay, so we have the random spots, doesn't have to be perfect. Then I'm gonna like cut about 1 inch or so. And I'm gonna weave this in and out of the edge. I'm gonna use that nice braid. See, like, because we put it in the back loop, we have a really nice braid on one side and a pretty nice braid on the other. So that's why I do it. If we did it the universal way of doing stitching after you do chain stitches, you would be missing a loop on that braid. And you know, it's still the same thing, but to me it doesn't look as pretty as this. So I'm just going to go halfway down and I'm going to come back up just to make this a more bolder line down the machete, because right now it just looks like a dashed line. And I am piercing this yarn like crazy. Okay, so I'm just going to come up from where that red went down. And I'm just going to, you know, I don't know what this is called in the sewing world, but we're just going to close our stitching here, I guess. Get a nice line. Okay. And because it's blood spatter, maybe it can be messy, you know? Maybe it doesn't have to be perfect. Alright, so I've got my blood spatter. Okay. I'm going to put this along with the head. And then let me just check to see the time that we have in this video. This might be a two-part video. We've got the arms, the neck, the legs, the body, the hair. Alright, so I'll be right back. Alright, you guys, so this is actually just under 2 hours, I believe. So we're just gonna have to make this a part 2 video, but we still have the arms, the neck, the legs, the body, the hair. So that's a lot. The body's gonna take a good bulk of our video because it's the second largest part. So hopefully I can get everything done in a 2-part video. You know what? I feel like maybe we can stretch this. Yeah, because there's no way we're gonna have 3 parts and I have so many more Halloween kits. Alright, this might be a little bit over, but we have to hustle it up here. So we're gonna do the arms and we're gonna use the cream yarn. And we're changing into navy. So thank goodness this has not the white that you need because I have no more of that. Just gonna put this back in here. Oh, there's a hole. This fell out somehow. Anyway. Alright, I'll set that aside. I'm gonna grab my navy. Okay, I'm gonna put this black back. Alright, let's get this done, you guys. Alright, so for the arms we're making 2. I'm going to remove, I'm not gonna film. I'm gonna do the second arm off camera for time purposes. But yeah, so I don't even have time for that, so let's just, nope, that's gonna make it harder. Alright. Yeah, this was a bit, I just realized crochet videos take a lot longer than knitting. Okay, that's because it's only one kind of stitch for knitting in those kits. Alright, so to make the arms, we're going to do the magic ring again. I'm going to show you this actually one more time because this will be the 3rd time. So when we do the neck piece, I think that's a different thing anyway. Alright, so wrap this around your finger 3 times with a little bit of overage to put your middle finger on it. You can straighten out your yarn, tighten it up a little bit. I'm going to take this crochet hook and slip it underneath the 3 strands. I'm going to pull this strand underneath these 2. Then I'm going to yarn over and I'm going to pull this through the loop. Alright, then I'm going to let go of my middle finger, slip off the rings off my index, and then we're going to start off the first round by putting in our single crochet stitches. So let's do that now. Alright, then we're going to overhand the hook, hold down the bottom stitches over here. We're going to pull this and we're going to see which one of these loops goes in first. Once you've identified it, stop pulling, and then we're going to pull this bottom half out from the loop that moved first. And when you do that, the other loop is going to disappear into the magic ring. And then we're going to take the excess piece and we're going to pull that to hide the other loop into the magic ring. Then to make sure this hole is closed, we're going to pull in the opposite direction in like a 45-degree angle and pull it a little bit more. You can feel a little give. You don't have to pull too tight, but that hole should be completely gone after doing so. take your marker and slip it, add it under the last stitch we made. Okay, and then, hold on you guys. Okay, I had to turn off the automatic feeder because there's too much food in there already. That's neither here nor there. Okay, second round, we're doing increasing stitches. You want to make sure that you count back from the hook the number of stitches required for round 1 and stick your hook into that. And then we're going to do our increasing stitches. All right. Now I'm going to remove the marker and put it under the last stitch we made. So the next round that we have to do is do the single crochet stitches, but I'm going to do all but one because we have to change to navy. So let's do that now. Oh, every one except for the last one. Again, we're going to pull this loop out so that we don't lose the stitch. Set the project down. I'm going to go ahead and grab this navy, and there's a lot of it, so okay, split it open. Try not to grab the outside one, grab the inside one because it's easy to slip over some. I've got a little pot here, and then we can just unravel it this way. But we're gonna do a slip knot. Did not split this right. Goodness. Okay. So to do a slip knot, we're going to take our ring, pinky, and thumb and hold it on one end, index and middle on the other. You're going to lie your hook perpendicular to the yarn, go down, out, and around, and then we can slide this up and down. Slide it down towards your thumb, take your middle finger and just hold it there. So we can let go of our left, grab some feeder yarn, repinch the end, slide your hook further down towards your thumb, and where it crosses, just pinch it so that you can no longer slide your hook up and down. We're going to yarn over, and you're going to pull this through the loop. Then we're going to overhand the hook, and we're going to repinch this end. We're going to push the knot towards the thumb at the same time, making that knot tighter. Keep pushing until A, the knot gets too tight and you can't move it anymore, or B, it hits your thumb and you can't move it anymore. From this point, you can then take your middle and thumb and pull out that excess piece. You're going to feel a little give just to make that knot a little tighter, so you kind of grew that space. You don't need to pull super hard, just enough to make it snug. Then we're going to slide the knot towards the hook and then remove it off of our hook, set it aside, pick up your project again and slip your hook into that large loop and tighten it up with the feeder yarn. And then we're going to continue our last single crochet stitch. So stick your hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop. So you have 2 loops on your hook. We're going to set this cream color aside, and then we're going to slip on our navy. Okay, gather up some feeder yarn. We're going to pull the navy through the 2 loops off the hook, and then we can remove our marker. So for rounds 4 through 6, we're going to be doing some single crochet stitches. So if this is 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we're not going to use the cream anymore. So what we're going to do is cut about 1 inch or so, and then I'm going to tie this. We have this excess piece right here close by, so we can just tie these 2 cream ends together and double knot it for security. Don't tie it too tight because you don't want to pull on those stitches either. But now we can move on with our navy. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and do the stitches. This is curling in a bit. At some point I'm just going to turn it inside out. Checking to see this is the next stitch. right, so now from here, I'm just going to move these markers, this marker to the last stitch I made, and then I'm going to remove the rest. Alright, so for the next round we have to do single crochet stitches with decreasing stitches. So let's do that now. And I've shown you how to do these, so you could always rewind back. Okay, then for the last 2 rounds, we are going to be doing single crochet stitches. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you again how to fasten off. Okay, so after completing that, I'm going to take the yarn and go around a couple of times around the opening to give it enough for when we sew the arm to the body. And I lost my hook here. Alright, we're going to do a yarn over, and we're going to pull that through the loop all the way out and tighten it up. Then I'm going to take the last bit of yarn I have. I'm going to split it in half. I have my own yarn, and I would recommend getting a sack of stuffing. Get a sack of stuffing so that it's unlimited for you. You don't have to worry about it, because sometimes they don't give you enough stuffing. And I'm just going to use this and stick it down to the bottom of the arm. Okay, and you may not need everything, and that's fine. We can always remove the extra. Okay. And again, I'm going to do the second arm off camera. So we are just going to go ahead and do the neck piece, and we are going to use navy for this. Now to do the neck piece, we're just going to do a regular slip knot. So I guess I'll show you this one more time. Ring, pinky, thumb, index, middle finger, hold it apart, take your hook, lie it perpendicular to the yarn. We're going to go down, out, and around so that you can slide this up and down the yarn. And we're going to slide it down towards the thumb, take our middle finger and just hold it where it crosses so we can let go of our left gather some feeder yarn. Then we're going to repinch the end here, and you're going to slide your hook further down towards your thumb, eliminating waste. And once we get to here, we want to pinch it closed so that you can no longer slide your hook up and down. Then we're going to yarn over, and we're going to pull this through the loop. Then we're going to overhand our hook, repinch the end, and we're going to push this knot towards our thumb or until the knot is tight. Then, just to make sure it's a little bit more snug, I'm going to grab this excess piece and pull that out just a little bit more. And then we're going to slide our knot towards our hook. Alright, so now for this next steps here, we are going to be doing our chain stitches. So this is a great practice for the basic stitch because we have to do a lot of them. So just go in and do your chain stitches. If you have to go back to that part of the video, by all means go ahead and do that. So the more you practice your stitching, the more uniform the stitches will be. So in the beginning, if you find that some are large, some are small, don't worry too much about it. Over time, it'll get better. Alright, so from second chain from hook, like we did before with the machete, we're going to be working a half double crochet stitch. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So to do a half double crochet stitch, we're going to yarn over. Then from second chain from hook, here's one, here's two. Like I said, we're going to just put our hook into the back loops. So just turn it on the side. You see that little hump there? I'm going to stick our hook into that back hump. So now we have 3 loops on our hook. To complete the half double crochet stitch, you're going to yarn over and pull up a loop. So you still have 3 loops on your hook. Then we're going to yarn over and you're going to pull through all 3 loops, and that's a half double crochet stitch. Now we're going to do 3 double crochet stitches. So to do that, I've actually showed you how to do that. So into the next stitch, back loop, put in your hook, we're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. That's just a little refresher. So we're going to do more of these, so finish that into the next stitch. Okay, then we're going to do a half double crochet stitch again. So let me show you that again. We're going to yarn over into the next stitch. We're going to yarn over, pull up a loop. So you have 3 loops on our hook. Then we're going to yarn over and you're going to pull through all those loops, and that's a half double crochet stitch. Then we have to do single crochet stitches, so go and do that now. All right, from here, we are going to be doing a half double crochet stitch. So I'll show you this one more time. Yarn over, put your hook into the next stitch, back loop, yarn over again, pull up a loop, yarn over again, and pull through all 3 loops. Okay. And I split the yarn here. All right, then after this, we're going to be doing our double crochet stitch. So let's do that. Okay, and then for our last one, we are doing a half double crochet stitch. Oh, and I totally did that as a double, but anyway, I totally split the yarn anyway, so I'm gonna redo it. Back loop only. Sometimes it'll be difficult, especially if the quality of the yarn isn't great, but okay, so make do. And then we're going to finish this half double crochet stitch. All right. So it says insert your hook into the first half double crochet stitch and slip stitch both ends together. Then weave in all ends. Okay, so I'd like to find the prettier side. So it seems like, yeah, the way that we did it is usually the prettier side, but we have to go in here. And let me just see if the photo first. Okay, so what we have to do is go to the first half double crochet stitches. They actually have a number of stitches that we did, and since we put our hook into the back loop only, the bottom row here is such a perfect braid, so it's easy to count. So I'm going to count back the number of stitches we did. All right, then we're going to kind of wrap this into a little circle here, stick our hook into the half double crochet stitch, okay, make sure our yarn is in the back though, okay, and then it says to do a slip stitch. So yarn over and pull through all loops off your hook. So now I'm just going to go in about an inch or so. Oh wait, you know what? Just in case, because we have to sew this on, and I don't know if it's what's going to work best sewing this together, either with the head, the body. So I'm just going to wrap this around a couple of times. And then we're going to fasten this off. It says weave the ends, but we still have to attach this. So the question is how we do it. So yarn over, pull through the loop all the way out, and then tighten it up. All right, you guys. So let's clear all of this off. We are finishing this video. We have the neck. We have the head. We have the machete. And we have the arm. I will be doing the other arm off camera. So let's just show these little pieces off like this. So comment below, let me know how it's going. Stay tuned for the second part of this video, which hopefully will be everything. Even though we still have legs, body, and hair, hopefully it won't be that long. But anyway, I wanted to take this opportunity real quick, you guys, to mention that in my original channel, I am throwing a special NFL giveaway. It's for the NFL season. Each week you have to go and vote in to see which team is going to win. The person with the most correct guesses will win the giveaway. I have my link in the description box as well as the rules. There will be 2 winners, 1 nail winner and 1 craft winner. That's you guys, or if you want the nails. But what we're gonna do is they're gonna get a bunch of goodies, a gift card, and a 1-hour StreamYard session to go over any projects that you're working on that you might have difficulty with, or if you want a one-on-one to teach you how to knit or crochet, or if you are inspired to do a channel or currently have a channel and you have some questions, you can take that time to ask me anything you need, and hopefully I'll be able to help you out with some answers or resources. But at any rate, thank you so much, you guys, for watching. This is Isms by Josie. Please share, like, and subscribe for future videos, and I'll see you again next time. Thanks. Bye.